and welcome to an amazing episode of the Integrated Life Show. We are back. Today is Tuesday, 9 p.m. So, this is Bharti Naik and Sagar Amlani. We are back with this talk show. And today, being holy, we always look forward to this festival. This is the festival of colors, festival of light that we celebrate in India. And we look forward to this festival for two reasons. One, uh, because it's a festival of colors. So tomorrow we are all going to play a lot of. We're going to play Holi with colors, with flowers, with water. We splash each other with colors and flowers, and as well today we will also do puja. We pray to Almighty God, and today being holy, it embarks that the evil, there's always victory over the evilness, and the goodness in people always lives alive. So that's what it symbolizes. And with this, we are welcoming each one of you who have joined in from different parts of the world to this talk show. So it will be very interesting when you put your comments where you have logged in from, which part of the world. So put your name and the city name in the comments to let us know that where you have logged in from.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Bharti, and wishing a happy Holi to everyone. Thank you for joining us. Yet another episode. Today is the finale. Finale where we come to the end of the show. But it's not the end of our association. There's something amazing coming up by the end of the show. So stay tuned and we will bring you something really amazing. Now, as Bharti said, it's going to be Holi, it's a festival. Now, Holi is a festival where you color yourself and you also color others. You also color people around you. So everything is very colorful, everything is very bright. And that's the festival, as per Hindu mythology, where the evil was burnt in fire and the goodness win. So that's it. That's about Holi. Welcoming everyone. Giving a recap of what happened in the last episode. Last episode, we talked about two amazing things. Yes, we had a combined episode like we have it today because we thought those are the two things which needs to be combined. It was vision and willpower. I'm sorry, it was willpower and X factor. Now, willpower, when we talk about willpower, it absolutely talks about delayed gratification, your a resistance that you create for your own self, something that you stand for, something that you control yourself for, which is also called as self-control, and that's willpower. And sometimes having that willpower helps you even cut through mountains. We talked about Manji, the man from Bihar who cut the mountain, literally cut the mountain through and through. And if I have to give you the numbers, I'm sure I have those numbers somewhere, not here, but the numbers, if I remember, was he cut down the distance from 40 kilometers or 43 kilometers to just 12 kilometers. And he dig up literally 360 feet of road with 30 or 35 feet of white, and that is just by single handed single person, and that was his willpower to do it because he lost his wife due to that long distance. Now that is willpower, and I'm sure you all have experienced willpower someday in your life, someday when you're fasting, someday when you're trying to go on a track, someday when you have climbed a mountain yourself, or someday when you're actually trying to save someone who is in a problematic situation. We've all heard about a story that a 5-year-old boy was able to save a 7-year-old boy from falling in a well and pulling it out. Again, willpower, the emotional strength. That brings us to the second topic, which was discussed, was known as X factor. Remember, we are all gifted by the Almighty with some unique capability. Realizing that is the true power, and that's our X factor. Most of the times, we actually ignore that ability because it is gifted to us. But when others see that, focus it and observe in us and tell us that this is your X factor. This is the ability that you have that makes us special or that makes you unique. Remember, that is your X factor. Remember to use your X factor to achieve your goal, your dreams, or live the integrated life because your X factor is your speciality, is your USP. And where do you find your X factor? Just reflect on yourself, meditate, observe yourself, and you will find your X factor. In case you're not able to find your X factor, reach out to me and Bharti. We will have a short exercise, short questionnaire for you and help you find your X factor. But why are we doing all this? Well, we are doing all this as a part of our community service. The knowledge that we have gathered as a proactivity coach, which is Bharti, and a productivity explorer, which is myself, we want to give back to the society. And that was the whole reason that this 6 month marathon was done as a part of the integrated life show. Because remember, work life balance is a juggler who juggles lands up in regret and guilt because they're trying to balance work and life. It's a myth. It's a very, very wrong thing to be in. Life is all about integration. Integrate the work in your life and your life into your work and see the happiness that you get. You will be full of gratitude for the people that help you, for the people that are around you, and you will feel the sense of fulfillment. That, my friend, is a gift from me and Bharti for all of you who are working professionals, working very hard to make the ends meet, struggling to give time to your family, your wife, your kids, and your parents, and at the same time trying to find yourself, your me time, something that you love to do, going out with your friends. Remember, integrated life is a way forward, which is not just evolved today, but that has been around for more than 5,000 years since Mahabharata or even Vedas before that. Pick up the life of Krishna and you'll realize what we are trying to say as a part of the integrated life show. Yes, Bharti.
Absolutely, Sagar. And we started on 28th of June and we conceptualized this whole talk show. More importantly, the integrated life, that whole concept that we conceptualized, that was way back in April. So it's almost 1 year that we are working towards this entire concept. And when we started this on 28th of June, we started with alphabets, starting with A and then B and then C. But the question here is, what is the whole essence of this talk show? What is the whole meaning that we derive when we say the integrated life? That will give you the sense of fulfillment, it will give you a lot of happiness, and it will also fill your heart with gratitude. What is this whole essence when we are missing out a very, very important element in the whole dynamics of the integrated life? Any guesses that we are talking about? Well, we are talking about you. You are the main essence of the whole integrated life that we are talking about. And why it is so important to speak about you. When I say you, I'm talking about, say, if I'm talking about my life, I'm talking about me. Saga talks about him, and this is especially for you. Why it is so, so important to understand and find out this you part is because in this whole course or the journey of life, when we are performing different roles and responsibilities, when we are fulfilling our aspirations, dreams, goals, so many things that we do in our life, we forget that we are the drivers of this entire life. Somewhere we keep ourselves at the side, somewhere we keep ourselves at the back burner, and we give importance to many, many things in our life. Could be our family members, could be our work, could be our colleagues, could be our boss, could be our neighbor, somebody who is maybe not in a good relationship with you, and you are giving so much importance to that person that you have kept him or her in the center of your life and continuously thinking about him or her, feeling stressed out, feeling tensed, finding out different ways, how should I handle such situation, imagining those kind of events happening in your life, and just building up those reactions. What happens? Everything goes for a toss because your health gets affected. But in the entire thing, we are missing out that when we focus on ourselves, when we start valuing our own self, when we start giving importance to, yes, we are at the center, everything revolves around us, that is where the magic starts happening. That is where everything starts happening meaningfully in our life, because we have kept ourselves, we have not forgotten that we are not the drivers, we are the drivers who's running all these things. So coming back to the same question, the whole essence of the integrated life relies on you. It depends on you. When you do it, it happens. So, all the 24 episodes where we spoke about 24 elements, they all are dependent on how you are driving this entire integrated life, how you are taking the learning forward, how you are addressing your concerns, your doubts, your fears, your questions. And I'm so glad that some of you, when you have shared your doubts and questions in email, when you have sent us messages on LinkedIn, it is really very privilege and honor. It is humbling experience for both of us to address those questions, help you somewhere in this entire course of journey where we are helping you to achieve this integrated life. So when we say give importance to you, put yourself in the center, and then we move forward. But yes, there are a lot of things that we will unwind today. Let's hear from Sagar. What are his views about today's episode, which talks about you?
But Bharti, tell me something that if I put myself first in every situation, isn't that being selfish? Now, that is the question which I'm sure most of us would have. And Bharti is smiling because she knows where exactly I'm leading to.
So
So, yeah, go on, Bharti.
yeah. So there's a very thin line when we say that when we keep ourselves in the center, are we being selfish? Or are we being too self centered that we only think about ourselves? Now, that's exactly what the difference is. When I say that I'm keeping myself in the center and I'm giving importance to myself, I'm talking about being aware about myself. I'm talking about valuing and respecting what I like, what I don't like, what are my aspirations, what do I want to do, what I don't want to do, what exactly do I want to eat. It's about everything that is about me. So I'm valuing those elements, I'm respecting those elements of me. So it's about more being self aware, and that is what makes it important in my life. So if you know more about yourself, tell me something. Would you be more successful in your life? Would you be able to share more happiness and joy in others life, and also fill your life with happiness? Would that be more good for you if you know more about you?
Well, type in your answers and let us know. So, in the meanwhile, continuing from what I asked Bharti and what Bharti replied, Women's Day is arriving. And knowing one simple fact, every single woman is also a homemaker, married, unmarried, be it a sister, be it a daughter, but they love to be a homemaker. They love to be at home, and they always have something, some extra emotional connect with the people in the house. They're always connected with a bond of love. And especially for mothers, they actually put everything else first before them. They think that I'll take care of my kids, I'll take care of my husband, I'll take care of my family, and they start neglecting themselves, resulting they feel unhappy, unfulfilled, or sometimes disconnected, leading to the same thing coming outside. And they then get confused. Why is this happening? I'm putting 100% effort to do everything for my family. Why is it not happening? And that's exactly why we need to do self awareness. You need to start working for yourself. You need to start thinking about yourself. Again, that doesn't mean that you have to be selfish. It's just being aware of what are your aspirations, what are you trying to do, what is something that gives you happiness. And remember, it's a very, very cliche thing, but still I'm going to say it. We all get in the flight, and when the announcement happens, they all have the same sentences. Before putting your mask or before putting the mask to others, put in your mask, which means take care of yourself first before giving it to others. Again, if my bottle is half empty, I can still share something to others. But if my bottle is empty, what will I share? Absolutely nothing. Is because I'm left with nothing in myself. If I'm empty, what will I give to others? If I'm unhappy, the only thing I can give to others is unhappiness. If I'm unsatisfied, the only thing I'll give to others is unsatisfaction, which means take care of yourself, be selfish, but not to the level that you start affecting people around you, and maintain the thin line. So that's the episode all about, and let's understand why you should be selfish. Of course, the examples are very simple. Which one you want to be? Yes, of course, you can be a full bottle, but decide which one you want to be: empty or 50%, or even 100%, or even whatever you want to fill it. Choice is yours. Yes, Bharti, over to you.
Very, very apt example, Sagar. If you are empty from inside, you will not be able to share anything. If your heart is full of love, you'll be able to share love. If your heart is full of gratitude, you always be grateful to everything that's happening around you. So whatever you want to share, you need to fill that happiness, joy, love, that peace. You need to fill that with yourself first, then only you'll be able to give that out. And interestingly, I in the last episode, towards the end of the episode, I had shared one interesting exercise or the activity that I do with a lot of participants who come for the coaching and for guidance. So the whole activity was, uh, I, I give them different types of coins, and I ask them to associate those coins with the people that they have in their life. So depending upon what the position or what the importance that those people carries in that person's life, they pick up that particular coin and they associate it. So a very interesting exercise that I did with one of my clients, and she picked up all these coins and she started naming them, that this coin is my husband, this coin is my daughter, this coin is my son, and this coin is my mother-in-law, this coin is my dog. And she started putting all the coins together, and she kept it in the line, and that is how she placed it. Now the very interesting part is that how you put your coins on the table is how you see, or how your relationships are reflecting inside your brain. That's exactly how you put those coins together. When she completed all her associations, and the simple question I asked was, which coin represents you? And that is where she went blank and she said, I forgot. You didn't tell me that I have to put my coin as well. Now, that was the argument. And I said, well, I said, whomsoever is important in your life, pick up the coin and put it there. So, what she meant, so the reflection was that she did not consider herself as the important person in her own life. And hence, she did not pick up the coin for herself that represents her. Another interesting part was, when it comes to husband, she picked up a 10 rupee coin. When it comes to mother in law, she picked up a 1 rupee coin. And those were a very interesting dynamics that could reflect upon the relationship. Now, coming back to our episode, The important part here is when you are giving importance to yourself, there is a small hesitation that we always feel. And I have seen this with people who are in sales, people who are in marketing. I've seen people who are business owners. They have this guilt to ask for pricing, to share how much they should charge, or this is what the price of a product is, or asking for money, or in fact, even giving salaries to themselves. They would think that, oh, how can I give salary to myself? I should first give, fulfill all my expenses, pay out my bills, give it to all vendors and employees. Everything should be done, and remaining whatever left is what I should take it. Now, if you're doing that, what you're doing, you're always putting yourself at the end. Now, if you're a driver and you put yourself towards the end, what will happen if you go back to episode number 2? You will slowly get burnt out because you will always feel that dissatisfaction. You'll always feel, the leftover is for me, whatever is left is me. So that feeling is not a good healthy feeling for you to work. And you will always feel that, how should I make it better? Where are you going to get that motivation? Where are you going to get that inner drive to run your business, to really scale up your business and pump in more energy? Because if you want to pump in energy, you need to fill yourself with energy. And where are you going to get that energy from? Hence, it is very important to put yourself in the center and drive your entire life through. Otherwise, because of that hesitation, because of that guilt, you will always feel either burnt out, or you will always have those health issues because you are not putting yourself in the center. So the question I always ask myself is, I want to help others. I want to really help contribute in people's life. I really want my family members, my colleagues, my partner, friends, my employees, my vendors. I really want to really, contribute in their lives. At the same time, I want to do it for myself as well. The question I ask is, if I'm doing this, is it at the cost of me? Is it at the cost of my health, my respect, my values, my beliefs? Is it at the cost of this? If I'm unhappy and I'm making others happy, that's compromising with the situations, compromising with your life, just adjusting it a little more. But if I'm happy and I'm making others happy as well, I'm filling myself, I'm filling others with happiness, that is the joy, that's the pleasure of life. And that is where the essence of the integrated life comes into picture. That when you're filling yourself and others with happiness, you are spreading, you're multiplying it. It's not only putting yourself empty and just filling others' tank and you're just emptying yourself. That's not how, in a long way, it will work or it will help. Yes, Sagar.
No, that's a brilliant example that, you always have to work towards fulfilling yourself, have a sense of fulfillment for yourself, and people around you will always feel happy, will feel content. Now, that brings us to a point which is very simple, that, when we talk about all these, when we talk about being, a little selfish, or at least a little bit of taking care of ourselves and observing the thin line by not being 100% selfish or not being self-centered. Now that balance is very important, and that balance comes out from our discussion, just like we had a few minutes ago, where Bharti suggested that that balance can be created by a very, very simple thing: showing gratitude, servicing the society. A simple way to serve the society is go to orphanages, go to old age homes, go outside and feed the people. Feed the people, do some kind of service, because that gives you a lot of humbling experience. So while you're being selfish, while you think everything is centered around you, you might enter into a state of having ego or pride, or too much of me. And when you go to a situation where you're serving people, when you're seeing people who are a little poorer than you, or who are not having maybe hand, leg, or are disabled or because of some accident, you're going to an old age home and trying to feed those people, have them, help them, or go to a local community and work in the local garden to build it. That gives you a lot of humbling experience, puts you back to ground. And when you do that, you have no fear because you will never have ego or pride coming in your way. So that was a wonderful discussion Bharti and me had just a few minutes ago while we were preparing or just summarizing for the show. And I love the way Bharti put it. And that is how you live an integrated life. So thank you, Bharti, for sharing that. And it was a very, very nice discussion that we had. But apart from that, the point here we are trying to say is if you don't take care of yourself, you are living with a guilt, and that guilt pulls you down. That guilt takes away your energy. That guilt continuously is like a slow poison, killing you, your self esteem, and your self confidence, resulting into lots of repeated mistakes, ignorance. Sometimes that makes you feel, am I not enough? Stop right there, go back to self reflection, find out, be aware of what you want, and take that pause is because it's okay to take a pause sometimes. It's okay to take a break sometimes. It's okay to go one step back because even a leopard takes 4 steps back before he pounces and runs even faster. So it's okay. It's always fine. Taking care of yourself can come from few simple things. A, meditate. B, start listening to music. We have discussed earlier this in our episodes that most of the people, when we are young, going to college, or when we are just growing up in the teenage, we always have music around us. We play music, we enjoy that. As we grow, we stop listening to the music. I'm saying, why don't we play music for 1 hour for every home in the evening or maybe in the morning? Maybe you put up chanting if you want, or in the evening, play some songs, just some random English, Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, Marathi, whatever language you're speaking, just play some songs, play some tunes. And if you don't want some songs, words, play instrumental. Trust me, that will boost a lot of energy within you and home and people around you. So that's one way to do it. Second is try and validate things for yourself. Self validation is very, very important. Talk to yourself, talk to your friends, talk to people around you, talk to people who you think might not judge you, and try and find out what is that the factor, the you factor that is missing. How can you take care of yourself? And if nothing happens, go out for a walk, go out for a jog, just feel fresh. When you get the fresh air hitting your face, I'm sure you will feel a lot of relaxation. And all that helps you being aware, and you become the driver. So that's how you take care of yourself. That's how is the importance of you in the integrated life. Because if you follow all the elements but forget to take care of yourself, others around you will be very happy and content for a shorter period of time. But in the long run, you start burning out. You start losing your self confidence. You start feeling depressed, resulting into everyone around you will feel the same. So take care of yourself. Remember to put your mask on before you help others to put their mask. What do you say, Bharti? How can someone be proactive in their approach to take care of themselves, to be a little selfish?
Absolutely, Sagar. And very, uh, I can just relate to a very interesting metaphor that if my emotional tank, I want to fill it, it's like refueling my emotional tank again and again so that I can give out those emotions to everybody that are surrounding me, because unless and until I do that, I won't be able to not just live my life, drive or lead my life that I want to live. So I always remember that if you want to fulfill your tank, of course you need to you will have to focus on yourself. You will have to give importance to yourself, and become that magnet that people start attracting, gets attracted to you, start loving you more, and they want to come closer to you. They want to really be in your company, be in your vicinity, be in your circle, because you are giving out so much of love, happiness, joy, wisdom, and that's why people want to be with you. So when you become that kind of a magnet, automatically you become the leader and you start leading the life and you start influencing people. When you do that, you are actually helping and contributing in people's life. You are really shaping and influencing them to do something good, something meaningful. And those are the good intentions that you are bringing out. And that's what the integrated life is all about. So it's all about emotional refueling it. And you can do this by various methods, ways that Sagar also mentioned it. Yes, I would say if you remove that selfish part bit, and if you have that fear that I may get, I may slip into ego or slip into pride, what Saga mentioned was simply the antidote is start donating your time. Uh, as a charity, don't just share your money, food, or anything, but start donating your time and spare that time with somebody who's in need. And when you start giving out your time, your efforts, your labor to somebody who's in need, automatically the humility comes in. You become a human being who's here to serve, and you become grounded. And that's what we meant when we say that you value yourself so much that you give out to others. That's why you are doing it. So in a way, you are doing this again not for selfish reasons but for selfless reasons, to give out to others in the community, in the society. That's why you must take care of yourself, that's why you must value yourself, and that's why the episode you comes into picture, and that's the essence of the integrated life. Yes, Sagar, and that is
Brilliant.
where we'll move to Z.
Yep, we'll move to the last element,
Yep.
Z. Now, while we were discussing about what that last element Z should be, and we were talking about should we have it as zeal, should we have it as something else, or should we have it as zenith? We thought let's have it as zenith rather than zeal, is because I'm sure you all have the zeal to have the integrated life, and that's exactly why you've been listening, connecting, and being with us for last 6 months. If you have joined us now, we can share the link of the website where all the episodes are available for you absolutely for free. Reason being, we want you to live the integrated life, because if everyone around us is start, living an integrated life, the result will be a very, very happy world, a world full of gratitude, and the world full of people which will have sense of fulfillment. Imagine how beautiful that will be. Yes, we have Mr. Bakul Trivedi from Gujarat, and there are, I can see, four more people there. Please share in where you've joined us from, and we'll be more than happy to know more about you. Coming to the Z, letter Z, we selected Zenith. Zenith is the highest point that we can imagine, and we want everyone to reach the zenith of the integrated life. We want all of you to enjoy the life at the fullest. We want all of you to feel that happiness, the internal bliss, feel grateful for the life that we have, rather than cribbing for small things which really don't matter. Have the sense of fulfillment of even achieving the smallest thing that you could do, because there are so many people who don't have eyes, ears, nose, hands, legs, or other resources which you have. So feel blessed, feel grateful for what you have, and that is where you achieve sense of fulfillment. Sense of fulfillment is not achieving a six-figure salary. Sense of fulfillment will also not come by having the biggest car or the most expensive luxury bag or even the most expensive watch. Sense of fulfillment will come when your heart is content, when your soul feels full by doing something. And that will only happen when you truly connect to yourself. As we said in the episode, you clarify, identify your vision, and take care of all other elements from A to Z. That will bring you to zenith. Let us understand or even ask you today, what do you feel will be your status of mind or your feeling when you achieve the integrated life? What do you think will your day look like? What do you think your life will look like? If you're listening to this episode right now and would love to answer, do share your answers. That how would you feel if you are living an integrated life? How would your partner feel if you're living an integrated life? How would your family feel if you're living an integrated life? Because when you are living an integrated life, it's not only you, it's the whole ecosystem around you that will change, that will have an impact. So if you start making effort, the whole ecosystem around you will get a little glimpse of it. So be the catalyst, be the change catalyst. Share this link with as many people as you can, and let every one of us take that little effort to bring everyone to the zenith of integrated life. Over to you, Bhati.
Yes, very well. So, when we say that when we are at the pinnacle of our work, when we are at the top of the world, how do we actually feel when we are standing at the top? When you have climbed the whole mountain, you have put in effort, so many challenges you went through, you have struggled. There came a moment where you were like, enough, I can't take it anymore, I can't do it more. But then something pushed inside and you said, okay, one more step, one more step. And with all these things, when you reach at the top, how do you feel about it? That's the whole feeling, the experience, and that's the zenith of the integrated life. So when you put all the 25 elements that we have discussed, we have shared with all of you, you will really reach that point, that pinnacle where you'll say, yes, I have really been at the zenith of my life. And that's what the whole point of the integrated life is. So, with the Zenith, we would really want you to go back from 28th of June, and let's have a kind of a recap where we said, okay, we started with alphabets, we started with A, attention to detail, and we spoke about how putting efforts, observing, and finding out those small, small elements, giving attention to those details actually helps you to understand your surroundings, to understand you, to understand what is it that missing, what is that element that needs to be changed, and you can take it forward. So attention to detail really helps you to put yourself into a path towards the integrated life. And that's what the episode 2 we spoke about attention to detail, because episode 1 was about introducing you to this whole concept of the integrated life, where work life balance is a myth. So please do not fall prey to those work life balance and everything. Start integrating your life, because we are one person and we are focusing on so many areas to in our life. So integrated life is what we are here for. And the second alphabet that we spoke about was Sagar. You are on mute.
Thank you. Okay, so the second letter was B. Well, B stands for burnout. Burnout happens when you take too many things on yourself. Burnout happens when you don't or you can't delegate stuff. Burnout has different signs. To know the different signs, you can always go back to the link. There are 12 different signs of burnout, where at a certain stage you're enjoying and you're feeling that this work pressure is because I love doing it. But remember, it's not about you doing it, but sometimes it's also about you getting into the trap of work life balance. You start thinking, oh, these pressures are normal, but that's the sign of burnout. That can lead to depression, anxiety, and so many more issues. And remember, friends, Burnout sometimes takes 5 to 7 years to come out clear in your life. If you don't want to feel burnout, or if you want to know what are the early signs of burnout, check out the website. Coming to letter next.
The next letter that we spoke about was celebration. Celebrating not just big milestones or big achievements that we had in our life, but also celebrating those small tiny elements, small tiny moments that comes in our life, and celebrating with joy, with happiness, with yourself, with our nears and dears, with family members, with friends. And those moments, the joy of celebrating those moments actually put us into a very high positive state. And that is important because when you are at a positive state, your emotional state is so high that you want to work more and more, that you want to do something more towards yourself, towards your life, towards others. And that's why it is important to celebrate, to put yourself into a high emotional state. And also acknowledging, appreciating, accepting the fact that you have done something meaningful, you have received some joy, you have received some appreciation from others. And that's why celebration becomes a very important part. And in that episode we also spoke about different ways how companies at the workplace they can celebrate those tiny moments with employees, with the staff. Also we shared it how we can do it at family, with friends. But yes, that episode is very interesting, you must go and watch that episode. So over to Sagar for the next alphabet that we spoke about.
The next alphabet, delegate. Like you see that we have delegated each alphabet between me and Bharti, that reduces stress. You also have to remember that delegating work responsibility, delegating it with accountability, and delegating it with proper communication reduces stress for yourself and your team. Many more things to learn about delegation. Watch out the episode, bringing us to the next episode, next letter.
E. And in that episode, we actually went ahead and spoke about a very, very important part, that is execution. Executing whatever you have dreamt of, whatever you have planned, whatever your goals are, and whatever you have decided to do. All the promises, wishes, aspirations, they are all meaningless if you are not executing anything. But when you start executing, what are those tiny elements that you take care? How are you going to execute it? What is to be taken care of? And what are the resources that you will look at when you are executing your plan, when you're executing your goals? There are a lot of things that we have discussed in that episode, which will really help you to execute your goals, your vision, your plans, your dreams and aspirations that will help you to lead this integrated life. And that is what the discussion that we have done it in episode 5, which is execution. As well, there are checklists, there are PDF that will help you to provoke you to think through, to find out some of the gaps, and also ask you certain questions about the execution. So when you go through that episode, you also download the PDF, go through that PDF, the questions, and see where you are in this whole journey of the integrated life. Yes, Saga, the next one.
The next one brings us to F. F stands for focus. Remember, your life is governed by and results are determined by what you focus on. So always remember what you focus on will determine your results. Focus on something that you aspire, focus on something that you wish to achieve. Even remember the story of the corporate employee that we talked about. If you want to focus on an employee growth, don't be a manager who nags them on every single thing. Don't try to micromanage your team by giving them time trackers, time sheets, activity sheets, and too much of time tracking. Remember, it's all about focusing on your strength and delegating your weakness, bringing us to the next letter.
The next letter that we speak about in the episode was gratitude. And I remember when we had this episode, Saga shared a very interesting story of a rickshawala, and also he mentioned that when you are truly being grateful from your heart, it is also important to share why you are grateful for. What is it that brings you to that gratitude? Otherwise, when you just simply say thank you to anybody, sometimes it's incomplete. Sometimes it's just for the sake of saying it. It's just coming out of your mouth as thank you two words. But if you want to really put that energy, that emotion of thank you, energy of gratitude towards other person, you must complete it by saying thank you for doing this for me, thank you for bringing this for me, thank you for accepting. Whenever you are adding for what you are grateful, you are not only helping the other person to acknowledge the efforts, acknowledge the deeds that he or she has done for you, but it is also completing yourself, completing you, that yes, I'm grateful for something in my life. And that was the whole essence that we spoke about in this episode. But yes, the whole episode is full of examples and many, many other small concepts that we discussed in that episode. So go and watch out that episode, Gratitude, which will really help you to lead this integrated life. Yes, Sagar.
That brings us to the next element, which we talked about, alphabet H. H stands for health. Whenever health comes, we talk about food, exercise, and nutrition. Is that the only thing that health means? Well, health stands for physical health, mental health, emotional health, and spiritual health. In that episode, we have discussed in detail that how you can take care of all four elements of your health and why you should take care of all four elements of your health. I won't indulge more, but bring you to the next alphabet, which is
And that is about importance. The alphabet I. Now, in that episode, we spoke about the importance that we give in our life, and what is it that we give importance to. And sometimes in this whole, leading the life or living the life, we sometimes put so many things at the back burner that everything and anything becomes not just important but urgent for us. And we then start being in the firefighting situation. We start reacting to the situations, we start reacting to people surrounding us, and we are just so exhausted. Sometimes we get burnt out of lot of work that we are doing, and we feel that, oh my god, a lot of things have just fallen on myself, and I'm like buried inside this. The
yep.
key point is you did not give importance to something when they were really were craving it for. So be mindful when you have things in your hands, when you have time in your hand, when you have certain situations in your hand. Are you really giving importance to those things, or you are just taking things for granted and say, ah, I have a lot of time. Oh, I can take this later, or I will look after this when I want to. So, what is it that you're giving importance to? That will really help you to look at your life in a different way, and it will help you to it will help you to lead an integrated life. Yes,
So
Sagar.
we are going with the round robin of all the alphabets. So bear with us. We are just being quick and doing that round robin. So brings us to the next alphabet, which is J. Now J talks about judicious. You have to be judicious not only in your planning but also in your execution and also about your own life. Judicious all means by judgmental. It means just being judgmental about everything, but not judgmental in a negative way, but being judicious and judgmental in a positive way. Remember, seatbelt is provided as a judicious decision by the car makers, but it's your judicious decision to wear it and save your life. Depends completely on you. That's just one example that I'm talking about from the episode. Again, moving on to the next alphabet, which is
Kaizen, K, the alphabet K, which talks about a Japanese concept called Kaizen. And what Kaizen means is continuous improvement. So, in that episode, of course, we discussed a lot about how we are continuously improving as we moved from one episode to another in that integrated life show. Of course, we also spoke about what are those tiny bits that we need to improve again and again, and how this continuous improvement actually helps us to shape what we want to shape. And also we give example of when you want to craft a pot. How do you craft a pot? Do you really craft a pot in a night? No, you keep on improving and you keep on shaping the pot again and again, and that's how it becomes a perfect pot. Well, perfectionism is not the destination, but it is actually a journey. And that is what we have spoken about in that episode, Kaizen. And that's what is there on the website, which is worldwideweb.theintegratedlife.co.in. So do watch out that episode. It's a very, very interesting episode, and we have really shared some interesting nuggets about Kaizen. Over to you, Sagar.
Brings us to the next letter L. Learn to say no. Learn to say no helps you not only from burnout, but also makes you enough time during the day by not taking responsibilities just to please others. So, learn to say no. Watch the episode for more details. Yes, and the next letter is
And the next letter is measure. Well, we are speaking about integrated life. We are speaking about so many elements to take care. We are speaking about we need to do this, do that. But all this is meaningless if we are not able to measure where are we leading, how far we have reached, what is it that we need to change, how much we need to take it forward. So numbers, measures becomes a very important factor, because when you keep measuring, it is in a way you are also getting that small tiny satisfaction that yes, I'm going forward rightfully. This is the direction that I want to go, and this is not where I should lead. Let me change, let me do something different, let me bring out something new if this is not working. But unless and until you have measured what your course of action is, you will not know whether you're going in the right direction or you're heading somewhere else. So that's what the episode we have spoken about. And the next episode we spoke about was Sagar.
nourishment. No, no, I'm just pulling your leg. Okay, N stands for nourishment. While we talked about many other things, remember, nourishment is not again only for food, but nourishment, similar like health, for your mind, body, and soul. So, while you nourish your soul through prayers and other stuff, emotional through songs, meditation and prayers, or reading books, and physical through a lot of nourishment, but keep yourself nourished in a holistic way. To know more about what are the different ways that you can nourish yourself and download the checklist, check the link below. That brings us to the next letter and next episode.
And the next episode that we spoke about was observe. Now, when we say observe, what is it that you're observing? Are you observing your own habits? Are you observing your own ways of doing things? Are you observing those elements which are there in your surroundings? Are you really observant? Are you coming closer to yourself? Or are you just living the life as it is going by? And I remember we had spoken a couple of examples about how being observant of how Boris Becker is smashing and taking this, smashing the whole court. How Andre Agassi really, that observation helped him to win the whole Grand Slam, and that's what observation is all about. So when you're observing, you are not only observing other person, but you are also being observant about you, how you are taking it forward. And those tiny changes really help you to lead this integrated life. So go and watch this episode and learn more about being observant in your life. Yes, Aga.
That brings us to P, which is priority. Identify your priorities and identify how you want to take care of those priorities. In that episode, we also talked about how your priorities change right from being an infant, student, teenager, adulthood, and retirement. So, if you want to identify your priorities, the checklist is right in the link below. And that brings us to the next element, which is
One second. This is just getting hang.
Q, that's okay. It's
Yeah, yeah, go
Should I
ahead.
help you with something if it's hanging? I don't mind. Okay, so we'll just shift it to Q. Well, Q stands for quiet, and Bharti's system is so nice that it went on a quiet mode and it followed the letter Q. So we talked about being quiet was not just meditation, but be quiet because you want to absorb the energies around you. Be quiet enough so that you can reflect, self reflect, and be self aware. And being quiet for just 20 minutes can improve your productivity by X percentage. The X percentage, the answer is in the episode. So if you want to improve your productivity by being quiet and live the integrated life, watch the episode. And the next letter, you can give me a thumbs up, Bharti, if it's working else I'll continue, that's fine. Okay, you're on mute. While you set it up, I will continue with the. Oh, you're back.
Yeah, very strangely, when I wanted to start the episode and I was quiet, I said, "Oh my God, oh God."
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
so we spoke about Q, and then we
Yes.
are at R, and the R stands for how realistic we are when we want to talk about. Um, are we really into the fancies of and getting fascinated by the worldly pleasures? Are we really looking at some of the dreams and getting carried away, or are we really being realistic towards what resources do we have? What is it that we want to do now? What are the parameters that we have? So there are a lot of things that we have discussed in that episode, and we have taken that episode forward. That all these elements, if you minutely understand and listen to all these episodes, how each one of these episode is taking you one step forward towards leading this integrated life. And that's what meaningfully we have brought all these stories and episodes to you. Yes, Agar.
Bharti, we are running out of schedule. Yes, the next letter was S, S for schedule, and we discussed about how scheduling can help you live a better life, be more planned, and still take out time for yourself. How scheduling, time blocking, and other stuffs can actually help you live the integrated life. To know how you can schedule your day better and even your life better, watch out the episode. And that brings us to the next element, T. Again, Again, the brilliant thing, T for tools and technology. Okay, go on, Bharti.
Something crazy, yeah. Okay. So in this episode, we spoke about tools, very important part of our life, how they are really helping us, how they are actually helping us to make our life easy. But at the same time, we also have put a sign of caution, warning that tools are meant to make our life easy. They are not meant to capture our life and we get dependent on them. So when we look at so many advanced technologies and ais that are there in the world, remember, they're all artificial. The natural or the original is all human being, and we should forget about those. So, yes, you use tools wisely, and we have shared some of the tools. Very interesting tool that Sagar had also shared in that episode is about how you can use Google Calendar and you can put it for the entire year. And but yes, those tools are meant to make our life easy and effective, make it really productive, make it really, so you need to be proactive in using those tools effectively so that you're productive in rest of their things. And that's what we have used in that episode. Yes, Sagar.
That brings us to the next alphabet, which is U, stands for urgency. There's nothing urgent in this life, and sometimes we feel everything is urgent in our lives. Urgency, my friend, is something that you haven't taken care when you had the target deadline. Why you didn't take care? It's only you to decide. But remember, when you start cutting corners, when you start neglecting things, when you start delaying the work that you have, you create urgency for yourself, resulting into stress. So don't create urgencies where it creates stress, but create artificial urgency so that you are more focused to get the work done. To know more, watch the episode.
And next, we spoke about the episode V, which talks about vision. Well, when we say that we want to lead this life, when we say that we want to fulfill our dreams, are you that visionary who can imagine and really see what others can't see? Now, when we say having that vision, it is very different from when we say goals, objectives, aims, or milestones, or some of the uh, you know the goals, the tiny goals that are short terms or the long term goals. There's a lot of difference between all these things, and we have shared everything in that episode. That what is the difference, how do you really need to put your vision into place, how to write your vision, how to identify what vision do you have, and why you must have a vision, what is the purpose behind doing all these things. So there's a lot that we have shared in that episode, and we really urge you to go and watch that episode. Could be your starting point of leading an integrated life. Yes, Sagar.
And remember, CV, what Bhati said, it's not just one vision, but chain of visions that helps
Yep.
you to live the integrated life.
Yep.
The next episode that we combined, that we recapped in the start of the episode, was WNX, which is willpower and an X factor. I'm not going to repeat the same because we have repeated the same in the start of the episode, which means you can watch today's episode. And while Bharati concludes the last two alphabet of living the integrated life, I'm going to bring something really amazing up for you to join us for the continued journey. Yes, Bharati.
And the last two elements, and that is what today's episode has been about. It's about you, where you are putting yourself into center, where you are important in your life. You're the driver that is leading this life, and hence everything is happening surrounding you. And when you use all those 25 elements that we spoke about, you reach to a zenith of your life and you start leading the integrated life, which gives you the sense of fulfillment, fills your heart with happiness, and also puts you into the zone of gratitude. And that's what the integrated life is all about. Now, here's what the interesting and the good news that Sagar wants to share. And over to you, Sagar.
Brilliant. So, if you're watching this episode right now, you can share this QR code and join. If you're not watching this episode live, but you can still join the group, if you want to let your friends join the group, let them join the group. The group is all about a community that wants to live an integrated life. The group is all about sharing our experiences, and we will still continue to meet you every month. Now, this is the group we are creating because we want to cultivate and let everyone live the integrated life. So, all you need to do is open your WhatsApp, scan the QR code, or open your Google, scan the QR code, and join the WhatsApp group. The WhatsApp group will always remain admin only, so we don't end up with the pleasantries, but we end up sharing all the 26 elements again with some checklist and other stuffs that come up your way. And every month, me and Bharti will come up to share your experiences, to listen to you, that how are you living your integrated life. So this is me signing off for today, Sagar Mlani, for the integrated life. And now I would give it back to Bharti and let her take the honors.
Wow, I'm so excited to meet you all because today is the last episode of this show, and I was feeling little low that yes, the talk show will get over and I won't be able to meet all of you. But now, with this group, we will definitely meet every week, every month. We'll be sharing those things and we'll continue this journey in this group. And we want to make it a more focused group where we are helping you, serving you to be better and also leading this integrated life. So join us this group and we will see you there in the group. Me and Sagar, we are waiting for you to join and how well we can start leading this integrated life together. That is what the whole objective of doing this talk show and being a part of this group is. So
Absolutely.
go ahead, go ahead.
No, no, I was just adding to what you said. So this is absolutely a delight for us to complete 6.5 months or maybe 7 months of journey with you. And we have learned a lot in this journey together. I'm sure you all will also have a lot of fun, and we want all of us to live the integrated life starting from today.
So with this, we don't wish to close, but we will have to close honoring our time. It's more than 10 p.m. here in India, and our families are waiting for us. We will finish the puja, and tomorrow we have to really start working towards how are we going to celebrate. Tomorrow is Holi, so I'll be taking care of all the colors. I'll be taking care of all the water activities that we'll be doing it. So, signing off, Bharti Nayak and Sagar Amlani for this integrated live show, and we will see you there in this group soon as you join in. Thank you so much and have a fantastic festival. Bye bye.